Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Idiots in a Movie podcast, episode 26. I'm your host, Chris, and here with me always is my co-host, Matt.
What's up, everyone? In today's episode, we're finishing off the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and we're viewing Return of the King. Now, Chris.
Yep.
As tradition, tell us what happens in this movie.
Okay, so basically, without giving too much spoilery stuff away, this is the culmination of the Fellowship of the Ring's journey. So Frodo and Sam are off to destroy the ring in the Tower of... I don't know. I'm not good at remembering names like that.
Pretty sure, isn't it called Mount Doom?
That's it. Not the Tower of Doom. Mount Doom.
Yeah. Which is a big volcano.
Yeah, basically. And then the rest of them are basically trying to distract all the forces, right? Doing their
much.
battle or whatever at the Black Gate. Is that where it's at?
Look, I'm not sure.
I think that's where it's at. Lord of the Rings fans are probably screaming at us through the...
They can deal with it.
Yeah. Anyways, but that's essentially it. Part of our fellowship is battling. The other half is destroying the ring, or attempting to. So, Matt.
I got a lot of questions for you.
Yay.
What'd you think of Lord of the Rings?
The
trilogy. Since this is your first time watching.
Okay. This is going to be a hot take right here.
Oh boy.
It wasn't as good as everyone says it was going to be. I mean, they're good movies, and I can understand why people would like them, and I can appreciate them, but I don't think I'm going to watch these movies for a long, long time.
Wow.
I mean, they're fine and everything, but they weren't as good as I was expecting them to be.
Wow, okay.
I was expecting like every single one to be like a 9 out of 9 for me. I mean, they're still good movies. Like, I still suggest everyone sit down and at least watch them once, but... Nah, I ain't feeling it. Matt, you said this is like one of your favorite trilogies, right?
Yeah, this is up there like with the OG Star Wars trilogy. That's my favorite trilogy in movies.
I get that. I get why you like it.
Yeah,
but
I understand.
It just didn't. It just wasn't for me, I don't think.
That's understandable. I get that.
And I can see how other people would be that way too.
Son of a bitch.
What?
Nothing.
Nah, but they were good movies, and I can see why they have such a cult following, you know?
Mm.
But I just think they're alright.
They don't really have a cult following. It's a big...
Well, you know what I mean. Yeah. They have a huge fan base.
Yeah, it has a huge fan base.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. But, yeah, I don't know. They're okay. I don't see myself, like, if we didn't have to watch them for this review, I mean, I would have watched them eventually, but I wasn't rushing to watch them. That's why I hadn't watched them yet. They just didn't look like something that I would be too terribly interested in. What, Matt?
Right.
Come on, say it.
No. It's... Everyone has their own opinions.
Yeah.
Yours wrong, but you know what? I can
whatever you
that.
say. Well, this is... How many times have you watched Lord of the Rings?
This has been my second time rewatching them.
Rewatching them? Yeah. So, did you enjoy them more your second time, or did you enjoy them more your first time?
First time.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright. That just makes me not want to watch them even more.
No, because when I first watched them, I didn't know anything about Lord of the Rings besides that it's
a fantasy.
It is
series.
A fantasy movie trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went into it, it just blew my mind. And the great characters, great writing, blah blah blah. All the good stuff.
Yeah, they got great characters and great writing. And the second movie is a really great movie. It's just this one, which is, The Return of the King, it felt like it was 30 minutes too long.
Well, yeah.
Because it was a wrap-up towards the end.
Yeah, this movie, the biggest criticism for a lot of people for this movie is it's way too long at 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, when I was looking up the run time to figure out how long I was gonna have to dedicate to this movie, and I saw it was 3.5 hours, I
Yeah.
was like, "Whew,
It's tough.
this is gonna be a tough task to get
Yeah.
through."
That's why I don't watch Lord of the Rings that often, because most of them are 3 hours, 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, but I'll give them another chance down the road, but not anytime soon. I'm good for a while.
Alright.
Yeah,
Alright. I can respect that.
and I'm curious, how are the Hobbit movies long? I know we're gonna get to those eventually, but I was just curious, are they as long as Lord of the Rings?
They felt long, but I can't remember if they were actually long or not.
Alright, I was just curious. I meant to look that up before we started, but like I said, I enjoyed my time with it, but I'm not rushing to come back to it.
Alright. What did you think of the big battle in this? With that, maybe we can talk about that.
I think the big battle was good.
Do you think
But-
it's better than the second one?
No, it's not better
What's
than the Battle of
Helm's
Deep. That's it, Helm's Deep. I do not think it's better than that battle, but it was a good battle.
I think it's a great battle.
Yeah, well, I give
A lot
them
of fun
I give
moments.
them credit for one thing. These movies, they're great at doing these big battle scenes.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
like those are the battle scenes in each of the three movies. Like the one at the end of the first one, that was my favorite part of the whole movie. The one in the second one was the best of that one that I've seen so far, and then this one was really good too.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
they are really good at doing those.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Got anything else for me, Matt? A first time Lord of the Rings
I do, but they're
viewer.
all in spoilers territory, so
All
can't
right.
really talk about it right now.
You got anything else to talk about that's non-spoilery?
Not really. I think we touched on everything I wanted.
Yeah. I mean, we've already touched on all the characters. We've already,
The big battle.
the big battle.
The story.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Everything else we get into is gonna have to be spoilers. All right. Well, if you haven't seen this movie, we highly suggest you go see it. Even though I don't think it's as good as everyone hypes it up to be.
That's what I have to deal with.
Look, you didn't like some of my movies that I like, so
Because they weren't good. Oh. Oh.
Overrated. Anyways, if you haven't seen this movie, we highly suggest you go see it because I mean it's Lord of the Rings. You should at least watch it once. But spoilers from here on out, you've been warned. So Matt, let's get into some spoiler talk. Go ahead.
What do you think of the eagles? The giant eagles.
The giant eagles,
yeah.
those were really cool, man. Why?
Why didn't Gandalf?
I know what question you're about to ask. This is one of the only other things I knew about Lord of the Rings. Was they always ask the question of why didn't Gandalf use the flying
Eagles.
something
Yeah, the giant
Yeah.
flying eagles.
at
and
the
fly
beginning of
to-
the first movie?
Fly to Mount Doom and just
Drop
them
it in.
I could have. You know how many people could have been saved if they just did that?
Yeah, I don't know. That is kind of a big plot hole.
Yeah. Gandalf, you're not that great at your job now, are you?
Nope. Yes, guess that's why you died and came back as Gandalf the White.
Yeah.
It's
Gandalf
the white. This is the white one, right?
Yeah.
All right, Gandalf the Gray, and then Gandalf the White. All right. I don't know. You could have easily have solved their entire journey through freaking snowy mountains and a cave where Gandalf died, and
Two humongous battles that
yeah,
cost how many lives?
a bunch of lives, including main characters that died.
Yeah.
And yeah, they could have easily have
Prevented
all that, skipped all of it, and just got right to the end.
Yep.
And
real quick.
yeah,
Jumping in, then go home.
I don't know. What else you got for us, Matt?
What do you think of the giant spider in this? It's no good, is it?
Look, you've seen the Harry Potter movies, right?
I have.
You know the scene in
Yeah.
Harry Potter 2
Yeah.
with the spiders.
With the giant spiders.
Look, I don't have arachnophobia,
I do.
but that gives me arachnophobia.
I hate
I
spiders.
could never deal with a big spider.
No.
Ooh, just thinking of those big, like, the spiders in Harry Potter were like dog size, and they just freak me out. But yeah, this spider, no.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. And he nearly ate. No. He nearly ate Frodo too.
Yeah.
No.
Frodo goes through a lot of shit in this movie.
Yeah.
He has it really rough.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he gets his finger bit off too, right?
Yeah, by Gollum.
Yeah.
To get back his precious.
His precious ring.
And Gollum fell in the, whatchamacallit.
Yeah, in the lava.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what you get, you crackhead.
Poor Gollum.
I don't feel bad for him.
It was one of my favorite characters.
He is a great character.
Yeah, he is. I'm kind of curious to see that he's in the Hobbit trilogy, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know he's in the Hobbit trilogy.
I don't know. Is he?
Curious? Yes, he is. I'm curious to see him in that. Be interesting.
If he was in it, I would say he's pretty good in it.
Okay,
but I mean,
good.
I don't know.
All right. I mean, it's hard for that character to. You'd have to really be trying hard, and he's played by Andy Serkis. So Andy Serkis is amazing.
Yeah.
When Gollum bit Frodo's finger off, like we were talking about, that looks so freaking painful.
Yeah, that was Mm.
And then Frodo basically kind of tackles him, and they fall off the edge, and Gollum falls into the lava.
Yeah.
And it just shows you how powerful. Again, it shows you just how powerful and seductive that ring can be. How power hungry it can make you.
Yeah, how it can seduce you to the dark ways, to
the dark
side of the Force.
Yeah, Gollum would have made a great Sith. A
Made
very crack
addict
Sith.
Can you imagine him and Count Dooku together?
Him and Darth Maul together.
Yeah. Darth Maul, I forget his.
Yeah, Darth Maul kind of goes crazy in Clone Wars,
Yeah.
anyways. So yeah, that'd be a good one. Did I already say that my biggest complaint with this movie is that it felt way too long?
Yeah, you talked about that,
I
and I
thought
agree
so.
with that. Yeah,
Huh?
it's way too long.
Yeah.
Especially the last.
It's like the last 35, 40-ish minutes, maybe.
Yeah, the wrapping everything
Basically,
up
everything that happens after the battle's over,
yeah.
essentially. I felt like it could have been condensed a lot more than what it did.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like it kind of drug out the movie after that part. And I think that's why we talked about this before we started recording. I think that's why this movie puts it behind the second one for me. Because, the battle at the end was the end of the second movie, essentially.
Yeah,
they didn't have nearly as much going on
up.
after the battle as they did in this one. So I think that's why the second one, because the second one ends on a pretty high note. I think that's why I like the second one better than this one.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That makes sense.
And then the first one is just a bunch of setup.
Yeah, it's set up for the next two.
And it does a great job of setting up, but the second one's just way better. My favorite characters, I already talked about how Gollum is one of my favorite characters in Lord of the Rings, but Aragorn. I love Aragorn. He's like my favorite part of these movies.
Yeah, he's a badass.
Completely.
And I'm glad he was turned to the king.
Yeah, it was great.
At the end.
Yes, I like Aragorn.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. You got anything else, Matt? I talked about all the spoilers I want to talk about.
No, I think I touched on everything I wanted to touch on.
Okay. Well, this is going to be a little bit of a short episode because we've pretty much talked about just about every character in that we wanted to talk about in the other two reviews and in this review.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, trivia time, Matt. What you got for us? You got anything for this episode?
No, I couldn't find anything on this one.
Dadgummit, Matt. No one stabbed themselves in the leg in this movie?
No, unfortunately not.
Dadgummit. Come on, actors. Stab yourself in the legs more often while filming.
You dummies.
Well, then let's get into our final thoughts. Matt, what you got? Give us a rating out of 0 to 10.
After rewatching these films, I could say the Lord of the Rings trilogy's up there as one of my best, or one of my favorite trilogies of all time. You know, they got great casting, great acting, characters, action, suspense, world building, but great practical and CG effects. It has everything. And even though this movie probably ran a little too long, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10? Okay. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Because I like the second one better. I gave it an 8. I don't like the first one as much as I like this one, and I gave it a 7. So it deserves a 7.5 from me. Like, look, I get why the Lord of the Rings are like 9 out of 9s and 10 out of 10s for some people, but it just ain't for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're wrong, but okay. All right.
Like, they're good movies, and they have good action, but yeah, they're just not for me. I enjoyed the battle scene in this one, and I enjoy Frodo and Gollum
punching it out
for the ring, and I love Gollum's character. Yeah, and Aragorn is my favorite character in Lord of the Rings, but you know, I just don't think the Lord of the Rings are for me, and I see why I haven't watched them until now.
Right.
Matt's over there shaking his head.
Right. What did we say, man? What did we say?
Nah, they're good. They're good movies, but not for me. 7.5 out of 10. You got anything else, Matt?
No, I think that might be it for me today.
All right. Well, I think that's it for us today. We hope you enjoyed us talking about the Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King, and we hope you enjoyed us going through all the Lord of the Rings movies this past 3 weeks. Basically month, yeah. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We put out new episodes every Sunday and Wednesday, and we'll see you next time when we talk about Christmas Vacation.